Today we're going to step through how you can create beautiful dimensional iris florals the easy way. So join me and we're going to have some fun creating these together. But first of all, let's take a look at these beautiful one-of-a-kind florals. So we'll take a close-up look. As you can see, these are very dimensional, super beautiful. And when we break it down and go through the step-by-steps on how to create it, you will be creating these beautiful one-of-a-kind florals the easy way. And then as we wrap it up, we will add those to this beautiful 5x7 card. So we're going to teach you how to group it together as a bouquet for your cards, which I absolutely love. So whether you like something that's super dimensional or you like something with a little bit less dimension for mailing, you're going to be able to create so many different unique looks and color combinations with the beautiful iris. So let's get started. When you are creating with this beautiful iris, you're going to be using the Iris Garden petals for the individual florals, and these come in 3 different sizes along with 2 leaves. It has the coordinating die that cuts them all out beautifully for you, along with a shaping mold that shapes it. So let's get started by creating a dimensional floral first, and we do that by starting with our coloring. So this one was stamped in the deep purple, and then we're just going to get started by adding a little pop of yellow right in the center of this flower. Now this is just such a stunning floral. Where we're from here in Indiana, it is one of the spring flowers that blooms so beautiful and has an amazing fragrance. So having the ability to recreate this in a very lifelike dimensional way is absolutely beautiful. Linda, she really studies real lifelike flowers, and that's where the inspiration for this super dimensional flower, also backed with images that you can use in a less dimensional way but create those beautiful bouquets, is absolutely stunning. So the second color I added there in about 3 spots per petal was the French Ultramarine, and then we're just going to switch gears and add a little bit of pops of color with our cactus flower. So you can really just have some fun adding beautiful pops of colors, do multicolors on it, and just really experience the joy and beauty of creating with these. If you want some more different inspiration with it, like we have a gallery that's going to be loaded with inspiration on how different ways the design team has colored these. Right in front of me, I have lots of samples that I can't wait to share with you at the very end. So just stay tuned. We'll get to those in a little bit as well. But within this collection, you have some individual pieces. This is a smaller iris that is super easy to add to the bases of backgrounds and bouquets. Now I just wanted to show you how you can really quickly and easily just add some pops of color in there as well. And if you wanted to go in and add a little bit of blue in there as well, you could totally do that. So just have some fun coloring these, whether you're doing it with inks or with your markers. If you are a colorist, you can totally do that as well. So however you choose to do this is completely up to you, and just add another pop of yellow in there. For the greens in here, we did a little bit differently. We added a pop of the Vivid Chartreuse followed by the Garden Patina, which I thought added just a fun color combination for those leaves. So we're just going to go ahead and add a little bit of the Garden Patina first. So we're just going to do kind of this beautiful kind of aqua green color in the center, and then we'll follow it up with the Vivid Chartreuse. So we're going to go ahead and just blend that color in from the edge, and you have this really beautiful pop of springtime greens with this. So hopefully as you are watching this, this really kind of debunks the myths of creating super dimensional irises and takes you from thinking, oh my gosh, I didn't think I could, to following these simple steps and being like, oh my goodness, I cannot believe what I just created. Now once you're finished creating these, what you're going to want to do is bring out your shaping mold, and you're going to put all your dimensional leaves and irises in here to start getting that base shape. So we're going to start by putting those in stamped side down, and you can do other variations as well. So you don't have to just do it stamped side down. That's what I'm choosing to do today. And for each iris, I like to, when I'm creating these, I like to use 3 of one size layered together, and you'll see where we're using that in just a little bit. But since we are using 3 multiples of the same size, I'm going to add a double layer on some of these spots so that we can shape everything at the same time. So with the shaping molds, you can do up to 2 to 3 layers. Personally, my preference is 1 to 2 layers when I'm doing this. If you are putting these on and your plates are completely full, what I want you to do is I want you to just go ahead and put that lid right on top and then just hold it firmly, and that will make that does not slide around when you bring these plates in. Just keep a firm grasp on that, put it on the top and the bottom, run that right through your machine, and you are good to go, which I absolutely love the ease and the beauty of creating with these, and it shapes it for you. So all you have to do now is just assemble it. How you choose to assemble these is completely up to you. There's a couple different ways that you can add, your stamens based on what you have in your craft room. So we're going to get this out, and that will be our next step in creating with these. So I'm just going to lay the leaves to the side for a little bit, but it has this beautiful crease in there. I know it's a little bit hard to just see on air, but when you get these in person, I can't wait for you to experience the joy and the beauty of that depth and dimension that is automatically added there for you. So the very first thing you're going to do is for the base of that floral, you're going to go ahead and have that go with the opposite direction. So it feels a little bit unnatural when you do it this way. You're like, wait, I'm going to do it this right. And I want you to go ahead and clip one of these petals off and just lay this to the side so you have an extra one for your next set of this size if you wanted to. And then just kind of tweak that a little bit so that you can go ahead and add a little bit of glue on the back, and we're going to layer this piece in first. So it makes that the top dimensional piece kind of has what I call a 3 petal, and I kind of put that in the middle but a little bit off kilter from the center. So I just kind of have it going off to the side, and I like to just hold it a little bit. I'm just going to wait, just kind of move it back and forth a little bit, and then you can lay that aside to dry. Now once that is laying there drying, you can take your another one, and this one we go up with the petals instead of down, and then you're just going to add a nice generous amount of glue. I like to use my hot glue so it bonds very quickly, so you're not sitting there forever holding your petals in place, and that seems to make it pretty easy. So then I just come in with that final floral and just kind of link arms with the petal that was on the top there. And then once that's dry, you can kind of twist and maneuver these around in the direction you want. So I'm going to lay this one aside, and we'll bring one up that is completely dry and ready for a card. Yay! So exciting. So with this one, you're just going to go ahead and, if you want those petals, say they were up here, you can bring them down a little bit further, and then you can tweak and move these around as you want, and you have this beautiful top base for your flowers. Now obviously this is more dimensional, so you get to choose if you want to do super dimension or if you want to do something that's less dimensional and more of a bouquet using some of the other images in the set. So there's lots of versatility regardless of what project you are trying to create with these. So the card that we're putting together today is this beautiful stemmed bouquet of your irises, and some of the key components within this set that I absolutely love is the background accents. So I'm just going to pop these off, and we're going to start showing you how to create a bouquet using this beautiful set. But before we do that, I just wanted to show you the other images within this collection. So this is the Iris Garden Blooms, and this comes as a big background, as a bouquet that's already kind of put together. But when you stamp it multiple times, you're going to be able to bring out pieces and die cut those and add more dimension and build it. And this is kind of the clincher. It's the hero that's pretty unsung behind the scenes that really ties it all together, and that's the Iris Garden accents, and you have 6 of those. So you have different sizes of background images that are going to come together and pull that in. So you'll see me using these pieces to bring this card together. So we created a 5x7 card base. We did cut this rectangle opening in the center. So what you're going to do is, if you want to have a little bit of background stamping in there, you can use this piece from the stamp and do some beautiful, stunning background stamping in there. Layer it onto the Iris Garden paper as a matted background, and you're going to be able to add that to your card. Now the Iris Garden paper, I cannot wait to show you that. It is like a garden oasis that makes you want to go and live there. So hang on for the ride. I'll show you that paper collection when we're wrapped up with this card. So you can then go back, and if you want to, you can put this piece that you had cut out initially in the center, sponge around those edges so you have a little bit of that color in there as well. Or if you wanted to, you could bring in some of the pattern paper from this collection as well and have that as a background. So lots of versatility, lots of different ways to really make this all come together. And the next thing I want you to do is just grab some of your irises. So here's what you're going to be able to do. Now, if you want to add a stem, a wire, you can. It's totally up to you how you want to do yours. If you want to add a wire stem, you can just use one of your stamens, run them through the center, or you can go ahead and grab a wire that you have, a florals wire that you have in your craft room, or floral stems, whichever you have, and you can lock that on the bottom of these larger ones, depending on what you're wanting to create and the look that you're going for. So I'm just going to do that to one of these so that you can kind of see that in case you want to add a wire stem to yours. If you do that, you have a little bit of flexibility on how you can kind of twist and pull them around when you are doing yours at home. So then I'm just going to go ahead and add a little bit of glue at the very base of this stem, and we're going to tuck that in from the corner, and we're just going to like start building our bouquet. And that looks a little bit off kilter right now, but I'm not too concerned about that because you have flexibility on how to kind of maneuver that around as you bring in the rest of your items. So whether you want to go ahead and have that on a wire or not, you get to choose. This was the largest size, this is the second size. So I'm just going to go ahead and add some glue to those areas that we are going to just glue directly to our card base. And I just wanted to show you like different ways that you can really add these to your card base. Now, you can go ahead and shape these if you want to. This is a stem that we're just going to lightly kind of glue in the background here, and that starts to kind of create the formation of our bouquet. And I really just have it kind of arched coming from the corner of the card. So it's just such a fun time to add these different bouquets and floral combinations in there. For this one, I'm going to wait a little bit. I'm going to start adding leaves in here and kind of fill that up with our leaves, and then we can come back and add more pieces as needed. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of see, I think that leaf size is perfect for that. We can just kind of stick that underneath. And then the beauty of this is you can always add more or less leaves depending on what you are trying to create. So we're going to go ahead and bring that leaf in there. And then you can kind of mix and match and bring in your other leaves. And now some of these, depending on how your bouquet is, you will need to clip off the base a little bit to tuck those in, which is super easy to do. And that allows you a lot of flexibility so that you can really tweak and customize that bouquet, which I absolutely love. And you can twist these leaves around a little bit if you wanted to continue to get a little bit more texture and dimension in there. So don't be afraid to make it do what you want it to do, right? That's the beauty of card making, right? So that's something that I always tell crafters is don't be afraid to, make it do what you want it to do. We're going to clip off this leaf a little bit, and we're going to have it hanging out at an angle. I'm just going to do a little bit of a twist and a curl in there, and then we're going to just angle that in the base. Now, I did add this with foam dots so that it gave me the freedom to tuck that bouquet behind. Let me just do this. There we go. And I might just curve that leaf a little bit too so it doesn't look so straight. There we go. And then you can go back and you can add more florals and iris bouquets in there. You might need to use more or less depending on how your bouquet is coming together, and also on what size card you are going to be adding it to. And the beauty of this too is you can use this on an A2 size card. There it's used with a beautiful birdhouse. And I love, where did this little, oh, right here. This is an iris bud bloom right here. So you could cut this apart and use some of those leafy stems by themselves, or you can just tuck this in kind of in the front of that main leaf, and that just adds a little bit more texture and dimension. So hopefully this also not only shows you how you can create the iris, but also how you can create bouquets with ease. And it just all comes together beautifully when you have those accent pieces. So here's the rest of those accents. They were stamped in cactus flowers, some with the garden patina and the greens, which I absolutely love. So you can just finish tucking these little pieces in as those little border flowers that are growing up in this bouquet with your irises, which I absolutely love. There's just something so exciting and so satisfying about this coming together as a bouquet on your card. So hopefully this just really gets your creative juices going and builds that excitement. I know for many of us, we are right in the throes of enjoying the summer sunshine, or the spring sunshine. Not summer yet, but like we're getting there. But we are we love all things spring. So, and this is one of those florals that reminds us that after a winter season, there is beauty that pops up. So that is just a very simple way that you can create those beautiful, elegant bouquets very easily. So I can't wait for you to experience the joy of creating these. Now, before I go, you know, the next thing you do is add your sentiment. If you don't know who you're giving it to, I typically just kind of leave it off until I know. So that would be your next step with this, and then you're good to go. And then, like I said, you can use that on your 4 1/4 by 5.5 inch card, or this one is just stunning with that bouquet together on this kind of beautiful fold-out card. Love, love how that came together. So again, this set has a combination of 3 different stamps and dies. You can buy anything individually or in the, you know, you can buy it however you want. I highly recommend getting the entire collection so that you are not missing any of those pieces. And this is the Iris Garden Accents with all the little pieces that makes that cluster and bouquet come together. And this is your main like a bouquet that you can layer as well. And it really shows you kind of a cheat sheet on how to layer those together. So with that, we're going to take a look at some more beautiful card samples that were created from designers all around the globe. Before I do that, I just want to show you some more variations of colors, of the dimension. This one was just adding some of our stamens in the center that were wired. So lots of variations just based on what you want to create. Here is another beautiful bouquet utilizing those leaves and those accents and those beautiful irises. So lots of variations just based on what you want to create. And that bouquet I was talking about, here is just a bright pop of color. Isn't that stunning? So you can do lots of variations. That's more of the traditional color with that. And then here is another more of that traditional color of the iris, which I absolutely love. Now you can use this one super versatilely as well in different color combinations. So you can use it throughout the entire year. And just have fun and pairing it with other little florals. Here we did it with the little birdhouse and using some of the background papers with the card front panel. So I absolutely love how that turned out. So lots of variations just based on how you color it, how you want to layer it together. Super, super pretty. It's great for your slimline cards as well. And then last but not least, we have this beautiful altar project as well, which I really, really love how that turned out. Look at the sparkle and the glitter on that one. Before I go, I do want to show you the beautiful, drum roll, it's the paper collection. This is like a beautiful garden oasis. It's called the Iris Garden Paper Collection. It is jam-packed with beautiful iris scenes. It's like this one. I just want to live here. So pretty. Do you want to live there with me as well? This is the birdhouse with the beautiful irises in there as well. So you're going to have so much fun creating with this. I can't wait for you to experience that. If you don't have the Iris Garden collection yet, we've added the links below for quick and easy ordering. So make sure that you do that. And hey, if you have not subscribed to your YouTube channel yet, make sure to do so so that you do not miss out on upcoming videos. Thank you so much for joining me today. I will see you next time. Bye.